Welcome to my Conscious Podcast. I'm Jessica Klingspor, and this is a podcast where we dive into our inner worlds and the incredible skills hidden inside us. It is a space for honest and meaningful conversations where our guests share their stories and insights from their life experiences and journeys of self-discovery. In this episode, you will get to know more about Swedish skipper Anna Östling. With more than 2 decades of elite sailing, she is the winner of gold, silver and bronze and has won everything there is to win in women's sailing competition. And now she has arrived to America's Cup in Barcelona, where she is leading the Swedish Female Racing Team, Swedish Challenge, who will compete side by side with women for the very first time in history. Listen to her story behind the wins and the long journey that brought her to where she is today, and also find out what she envisions for a brighter future for women in sports and beyond. All right, we are live, and welcome to my Conscious Podcast. I'm so excited that this time I have a very extraordinary woman here, Anna Östling. She is the Swedish skipper for the Swedish Challenge America's Cup team that is here racing for the first time in history, in the 174-year-old history of America's Cup. Women are allowed to race. And so this is quite a milestone. And I've been fortunate to meet you already before. We have done some events together. We have done a panel discussion for the Inner Development Goals Barcelona Business Hub. And so now I'm also fortunate to have you in my podcast. Welcome, Anna. How are you feeling today?
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, it's fun. I'm so happy I got the possibility to meet so many cool persons, and you're one of them. So very happy for this, Jessica. Thanks.
Me too. And how is this America's Cup vibe buzzing in you now? Because it's a countdown to the women's racing starts.
Yeah, as we speak, we only have a couple of days left before the first race, and this has really been a journey. So that we are, now so close to the actual event, it's almost unreal, and I can't wait to get started with the racing, and it will be. As you said, it's a huge opportunity, and also, for us women in the sailing sport, it means like a lot. So I've been working on this for more than 2 years, and coming week it's all about the racing. So
yes,
that's great.
I mean, it is meaning not only for the sports women. I mean, women in general. This is a milestone for the gender equality. And you say that 2 years ago, this the whole thing started because they dropped the message, right? It was the New Zealand team who won that decided. That is how it works, right? That the winner of the America's Cup, if you explain it a little bit.
Yeah, so like America's Cup is a quite unique event. It's the oldest sport trophy in the world, and how it works is that the winner, they create a protocol with rules for the next America's Cup. So the different events, like the different America's Cup competitions, are very they're not alike. Like they can change what type of boats they're racing, and all the rules are set up by a winner. And when New Zealand won last time, when they wrote the protocol, they also included women's event for the first time in history. And I mean, it would be strange if it didn't happen, soon, but still I have been thinking that maybe I'm dead by the time it actually happens. So it's been a competition where all the innovation, it like so much money going into the sailing sport in the America's Cup to develop like new kind of boats, and this all the innovations are then like slipping down to the rest of the sailing world, and also into like marine industry. And so it's more like Formula One, and we've seen so many like of the global companies taking part of the America's Cup. So that it's only been a world for men before. It's crazy. So yeah, now it's our turn as well, and we're super excited.
Yes, you must be. I mean, what kind of preparation does it take to build up to come here and compete? What is behind the story behind the scenes? Because you show
Yeah,
up
it's
and you just go for it. But I can imagine there is a lot of preparations before you actually
yes, for
arrive to
sure.
Barcelona.
Yeah, and also with the America's Cup, nothing is like, it's not equal, it's not fair, it's about money. So I would say that the preparations for the different teams have been very, very different.
Wow.
But one thing in common is that we have great sailors, great women sailors in the world, and the 12 countries that now are in this event, they have been, picking the absolute top athletes. So like the girls who are gonna compete, they are the absolute top level, coming from Olympics, coming from the ocean race, coming from match racing, and so we can, we're gonna look forward to see the best girls compete. But then it's a very it's a boat that will demand a lot of hours, because it's a very unique boat, and it's it's quite hard to sail it. It's nothing like we've done before. So I mean, the teams that have been able to put in more hours will for sure come out stronger. And for us in Sweden, we've been fortunate, and we've had like the most incredible journey last year, like the year we've done now with Artemis Technologies, and we've actually we have a boat, a AC40 boat, and we've been able to practice on the water in that boat for more than 6 months now. And some of the teams we're actually competing against will only have done 5 official training days. So
5
it will be
official training days.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
mean, we were visiting you in the team base, and there is this simulator kind of machine where you jump inside, and this is mainly the training before you go into water.
Yeah. So the simulator for us as well have been so important. Like it's a step into a new way to like learn skills. And with boats like this, we have speeds up to almost 95 kilometers per hour. So, and if you crash, it's a hard stop, and it's actually dangerous. So you would not let Olympic sailors step into the boat without any knowledge about the boat. And so that's where the simulator has been so good, because we have been able to practice almost like full on what we would practice on the water. All the communication, we've understood how the boats work when we press different buttons. And it's
because it's a lot of technology and buttons.
Yeah, it's very like, the boat is very cool, and nothing that we've been close to sailing before. So most of the girls, they come from smaller dinghies where there are maybe 1, 2 on board, and it's a balance act. It's a small boat that can capsize, but you hold the ropes, and you adjust the sails by physical and force and ropes. But in this boat, it's like a cockpit. It's like a Formula One car. It's a wheel, and then it's buttons to adjust all the sail trims. So it's very, very different. So the simulator has been key. And for some of the teams, been the only way to actually practice. So
Yeah, but it's really
it's
flipping my
yeah.
to know that because I tried it myself, and I was thinking, but how close to the experience of actually sitting in the boat in water is it on a scale of 1 to 10?
Like the experience is not that close, because like when you're on the water and you feel like when you're going that fast and water sprays in your face, that's obviously a very different feeling. But what you actually do to control the sails is like 99% the same. So you can
Wow.
learn the skills and how you can sail the boat balanced, because it's all about being balanced in a boat like this. If you wobble around and if you're like not balanced, you're gonna crash. So I would say that the skill set you need to sail the boat you can learn in the AC4 in the AC40 simulator, but you will of course get another experience by being on the water for sure.
Yeah. I can imagine. But you're saying that this is like the Formula One circus. That's so much money involved, and a small country like Sweden, they found the investment because how much does it cost to design and produce such a boat like the AC40?
Yeah, so the boat itself is one design. That means that we have not designed it, we have not produced it, we've just bought it. But it wasn't cheap. It's
No,
an expensive boat, and it's like around um, 3
3 million.
million euros for a boat, and then the whole setup around is like it's more than the boat, because we need to have the best people working with the boat, with the hydraulics and with the electrics, and yeah, just to run it and make sure that we can get the hours out on the water, so we don't end up with boat issues. It's too complex. So for us as sailors, we would never be able to run the boat without the experts. But on the question how you actually fund it, it's tricky, but you know, there's we were fortunate because I together with my best friend, I've been sailing with her for a long time. We decided that Sweden should be part of this America's Cup, and that was more than 2 years ago. And so we contacted New Zealand and we asked about how will this event be run, and what's the rules, and how will it work with the boats. And they kind of showed us a blank canvas, like saying, okay, this is how far we come. And this
Yeah.
was in the very very early stage, but that's something I love, just to look for opportunities, and when there is one, you grab it. So we talked to the New Zealand team, and we maybe influenced them in some ways, because I know in the beginning that it was some discussions about only having the big America's Cup teams having women's team. But then we knew that Sweden is not in the big America's Cup, so then I won't get the opportunity. So in the end, they decided to have the 6 cup teams, but then also have 6 invited teams.
Wow.
So Sweden is one of the invited teams, and we made this pitch, and we had a plan for the entry fee and to buy the simulator. And so we got the spot, and that was like the most amazing meeting or call I've ever had. Like
I
it
can
was 9
imagine.
o'clock. Yeah, it was 9 o'clock in Sweden in the evening, because it was 9 in the morning in New Zealand. And I remember that I couldn't get my son to go to sleep before, because it was just messy. So I put him in the sofa with an iPad and said, like, okay, mom is going to have a very, very important meeting. Please
If
stay
you could
here, be
only
quiet.
grasp it.
So, and after that meeting, we were like, shit, we're going to get the invite. And
Wow.
And then it all started like full on to look for funding, and just 1 month after this meeting, we got contacted by Artemis Technologies, which is a maritime company based in Belfast, that came from the previous America's Cup campaigns that Sweden have had. So yeah, that was also a quite cool conversation when we realized, okay, we're gonna go from looking for funding at so many different companies, and then instead work with one very, very, very big company who knows all about these boats and the sailing as well. So yeah, and then
what a journey!
It all came together.
It all came together, but it's amazing. I mean, you have to be more than sportswomen. You have to also push for this, put the strategy, go for the funding, and you live it and breathe it, and every day for
I
all this
usually
time
say,
leading it up to being here.
Yeah, like sailing is one of those sports. There's many more, but the sports where you don't get served on a silver plate. You're not in a big soccer team where you have a manager and when you have a salary, and you come and you do your job. Of course, they really need to do the job, otherwise they're out. But in sailing and other like smaller sports, it's more about leading yourself and do all the different roles within your small team. But I also think that that's one part that I really enjoy, because it's like having a company and like pushing for what you want and in the way you actually want to see a campaign moving forward when it comes to culture, teamwork. Like, we have so much to say, and I love that.
And Sweden is quite a big sailing nation, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say that we can't compare Sweden to like UK, US, New Zealand, France. Not. Like, we're a small sailing nation, but we're quite good.
You're good. The impact is high. You have a high impact
we had
on the sailing world.
Yeah, we had 3 Olympic medals in the last Paris. Olympics. Yeah. So I mean, Sweden is well we're good, but we don't get the funding and the money that we to compare to the bigger nations, I would say.
Okay, but still, Anna, becoming a skipper in a historically male-dominated sport like sailing is a significant achievement. So can you share what first inspired you to pursue this path and how you overcame initial challenges? You must have many stories. You can write a book perhaps in the end of the day.
Yeah, like the first thing is that I love what I do. I love my sport. I just love when we release the boat, no matter what kind of boat it is, because I usually sail match racing and we race different kind of boats, different parts of the world. But when you let go of the docking lines and you're like starting to sail out, it's like all your problems stay on shore. Like you just won with the team and with the wind and the waves, and so firstly, I love what I do, and I've also been very fortunate to work with good people around me. But that's also coming from we've been very, very strict about how we want to have our team. Like, we've been putting so many hours into our team on land, working with our strength, working with how to communicate and how, like, what do we want. And so we've had this journey. It's like everything. It's not the medals, it's the how much we've developed and like learned together. So no one wants to leave. So that's
No.
why also that's why also, like, you keep on doing this. And then it's switched from being, just a dream chasing medals. And after winning more or less everything, 2016, we won the worlds, we were leading the world ranking, we won the world cups. And so they were like, okay, so what do we do now?
Wow.
And then, we made this switch mindset wise to create something bigger than just our medals. And I would say when we did that step, it was also like, it was like a new journey began. Like we started making clinics for young girls, and we started to, look for more opportunities so we could, go to new platforms with women sailing. And so one thing led to another, and we understood that we can do change, and we have impact. And when you work hard and when you see the results, that not only affects you, but like a bigger, like a broader,
It's bigger than yourself. Yeah.
and
The
then
purpose and
it
everything.
becomes really, I'm addicted. I can't stop. Like this is what I love. And so when the America's Cup came up in there, it was just a given. For us, it was like no chance we would not take this opportunity.
No, it's amazing. And bravo for that. You are here now because you have this grit and never give up, and the perseverance.
Yeah, and it's
That
also
is-
tough, we've been through so many downs, and we've been crying, and it's not like everything has been fun and easy all the time, but we've, have had this good team, and the great girls around me, and we actually we see each other as a team where we don't have a strict leader. We help each other. And I'm very sure that all the downs and all the hours spending on helping each other and crying, and that's also life. But you become stronger when you realize that you can overcome, and that you can, stand up again and just keep on going, and then the results will come. So
with the consistency.
yeah,
because it's always the success stories, but there is always a second version behind that I
for
find
sure.
always to be I'm so grateful that you lifted here, because it's interesting also to hear that what you went through to be able to tell the success story, because it's also by failing many times and get up again that is how you really win.
Yeah,
And
100%. And I would say in sports, we're quite good at, you fail and you do the analysis, and you change, and then you try again, and then you become better at the actual, let's say we're going to do a start in sailing, and then we like, we're really focusing on how to make a good start. We try, we fail, we practice again, and then in the end we understand how we should make this start good, and then we execute. And then things can happen. Suddenly there's another type of wind, or it's current, and then you might need to learn again. So sport has really taught me, like, there's always going to be times where you like take steps back. But if you just continue and thinking about the process and thinking about what did we learn from what happened, then you will always become better. But for sure, it's, I could easily write a book about just the tough parts.
Because that is what we really learn from as well.
Yeah.
Because what's shown on television and the front, it's only when you win usually.
Yeah.
But it's like in conscious business, we have a concept that we call I, we, and it. So you first, you have to be have a good connection with yourself, working on your own being, your inner compass, and all those inner skills. And then the we, it's actually the journey and the team and the relationships. And the it is, of course, the goal. But is it like that in sailing as well, that you set the goal, but then you focus more on the we, on the relationship and the process to get there?
Yeah, I would say it's very crucial that we kind of want the same thing. In our team, we've always, we talk about the goal, and we can have different goals, but we need to have have in mind kind of the same outcome. But it could be like Annika, for example, she likes to state that I want to win that event, for example. And some in the team would rather have the goal like, okay, I'm gonna be the best version of myself on that event, because then you know that you're gonna win.
Yes.
You see, like
different intentions.
We want the same thing, but we have different ways of expressing the goal, because some can be really, feel like it's hard to breathe if you say we're gonna win.
Yes.
And they want to focus on the how a little bit more.
Yeah.
But we still have the same vision, and we have the same,
alignment.
We want the same outcome. Because if we don't, we're not gonna put the effort in, and we're gonna be running in different directions. So I think we need to have, like in a team, we need to know what we want to achieve, but then it's fine that we, talk about it in different ways.
Yes.
And we've also always said that a team is only as good as the individuals giving into that team. It's not about picking the best players, but it's still about the individuals, because if you're part of a team, you can't lean on someone else creating a good team. It's about what you are contributing with, and how you are, with your attitude and giving energy to the others, and follow the process, and follow the framework that the team have put together. So I would say that a team is always formed by the team players, like the individuals, and you really need to understand how valuable you are in a team. Some says like, okay, the team goes first, and of course sometimes you need to step back and maybe understand that it's maybe not my way all the time, but it's still up to me to build a good team together with my teammates.
Amazing. And I mean, you have been doing this for like 2 decades now, a little bit more than 2 decades. And the last 10 years, you had a team called Wings, and it's giving birth to a project that is coming.
Yeah.
Could you tell me a little bit about this, and how the idea was born, and what you're aiming to do?
Yeah.
Or are doing, actually.
Yeah. Wings, the name, we were brainstorming about like what kind of team would we like to be, and what values do we like to follow, and like what are we? And then we had this story about how geese are flying together in a V formation. It's you can Google that, like lessons from the geese or something it's called. And like when we read that one, we got it from a coach like 15 years ago. So we liked the story, and we had it, in the back of our minds that we should work together as a team based on that story, because it's about how you help each other, that you're pushing with the right words if you're like flying behind, and that if the leader gets too tired, they're gonna rotate, and so it's quite cool story. So this was I think in the same time as when we won all these medals in 2016, we decided we need a new team name, and we came up with these wings because it felt like a lot like us.
It's a beautiful metaphor. It's a beautiful metaphor.
It's really nice. Yeah, I feel I get happy when I talk about it.
Yes, I can feel that.
I like it. Yeah. And then we, as I said, we did this all the clinics for younger sailors and girls because we wanted to pass our knowledge to the next generation. And after doing that for a couple of years, but with no full attention and no money, we did it all just for free, and it was great. It gave us a lot of energy, but it was still you end up understanding that you just have 24 hours a day, and with kids coming into the team, and it became a struggle. But then we spoke to one man who has a daughter in the alpine skiing world, and she's by that time I think she was 16, and he was like, can you please help her? Is there anything, like you've learned so much, why only pass this forward to other sailors?
Exactly.
So then we started to like think about it, and we actually took a very huge decision to broader wings into a program, a platform where we support young Swedish athletes, women athletes in the age from 16 to 25. And it's all in the it's in the beginning of this journey now. So we're changing, we're adapting, we see what works, but we have a program going on for the last year, and we have 11 athletes in a pilot project this year, and it's so much fun. We talk a lot about how to build a strong individual, and how to understand that all the skills you learn in sport is something you can then bring into your next career, and you can also have two careers at the same time. You don't have to stop doing sports, because it's all one part of this is that we feel like what we have been able to do, and like all the places we've seen, all the things we've learned, it's been just amazing. And we want to give that to more, we want more girls to be able to do this journey. And there's so many girls dropping off sports in the age of 16, 17. And if there's anything we can do to inspire them to continue, that's where we get energy now. So Wings is a new project, and let's see how big we can do this, and how many girls can we help and we want to make them fly just as high as we've done. So it's super fun.
It gives me goosebumps. And I'm thinking about the
I'm
geese
happy.
now.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is like sky is the limit, Anna. I mean, you've started with your first program for 11, but this can grow into it's so regenerative. This that
Yeah.
it's it.
And
It's at the tip of
and
the
when you meet
iceberg we can
people,
see.
you meet new people, and you get new way of thinking and seeing what this can be. And I think we're just in the start of something really good. And what I'm leaning back on is that I get energy of doing this,
Mm.
and when I speak to people about the project, I see that I'm
You light the
lighting them up.
sparkle.
Yeah, yeah. So that's for sure. I think we have the story. We don't really have the product yet. We're working on it, but we have a kind of this 3 years education program set up, and it's made by us, like on our knowledge, and like we've been working with so many different coaches throughout
Yeah.
this full campaign. And you learn so much, and now we're just gonna put it together into one really nice concept and give it out to more girls.
Amazing, because it's also increasing their chances to get leadership roles in business later. I
Yeah, so
mean,
that's one of the scoop. Like of course, we need to fund this. Like as I said, it all started with just our time, and we did it for free, and it was amazing. But you realize that you can't just do things for free for your whole life.
no, of course not.
No,
But if
so
you can
so
fund the America's Cup, Anna, you can fund this.
yeah,
I mean, the
yes.
America's Cup is a huge competition, but what the project you're talking about is bigger than life.
Yeah, it's and when we felt like, okay, we need to have something. We need to go to Swedish companies with this vision and
Hmm.
product, and we need partnerships.
Yeah.
So one thing that we've been talking about quite a lot is that these girls, and we know this is facts, like if you do sports, and if you do it like for longer, you're gonna learn so much, and you're gonna end up most likely more often in roles in your next career where you have leader roles. And that's it's not something we have come up with. That's fact. And so for us to get partners, businesses supporting Wings, we
Hmm.
can then create great opportunities for them to bond with the next generation and their
Yes.
future women leaders. So we have one vision and one goal is that to see our first CEO coming from Wings. That would be
Cool.
so cool, just to have something to when you work and when it's a struggle, you need to understand where you have your motivation.
Of
And
course.
if we can have it's not about having the girls take the Olympic medals, but it's maybe one or two of them will do that.
Yeah.
But most of them won't. But all of them can really understand how they can use the skill set they get from sports and transform it into business,
Exactly.
leadership, teamwork.
Because
Yeah.
I think Sweden is a great role model there. In the 70s, the coaching guru Lars-Erik Unestål, he was training Davis Cup tennis team, Björn Borg, Ingmar Stenmark, the skier. And then he transformed it into business coaching. I did my own certification with him. He's quite a guru, and that has been proven the results later in the business life really well. So I think
Yeah.
as a nation of leaders, I think Sweden, what is your experience looking at the other teams from the other countries? How are they backed up, their women team now, for example? Can you see any differences?
Yeah, I think for us in Sweden, it's like if I look back on my career, we've always had the opportunities to work with Swedish companies that wants the same thing. Like if we can find companies that share our values, we're good at creating value for them, so they want to collaborate and work with us. So I'm not sure, but I think in some of the other countries, at least, it's more government funding in sports. But I mean, like I said, I love my sport, but I also love what I'm doing on the side with all the people I meet, all the things I learn. So like for me, it's better to be able like to go out and like get my budget together on my own, because then I learn so much more than just getting funded by the government. I mean, it's also, you need the combination, because you also need to focus on your sports. Like when I did the Olympics, it was like you need to put like every single hour into that campaign to succeed, so you don't have time to run around and do business meeting all the time. But in the situation I'm now, I think I enjoy that part as well.
But
so
having
I
a
think
learner's
that's a little
mindset,
bit,
having a learner's mindset is linked to the sport in the first place. You keep learning about the techniques, about yourself, about the pep in the team, etc. Everything you're describing. So now that when we have reached this milestone with the gender equality, that the women's are finally participating, now starts the real work in this. I mean, this is the first time, but we are far from equal. How do you see that? What will come next after this?
I mean, like, it's not like you open a door and everything is, all good. Like, you still need to work for, getting paid. Like, we're not getting paid, even close to the big guys. But at the same time, they have been in this for longer, and they have more knowledge. Of course, they have a different skill set. So in one way, I can understand that you just don't get the open door and then it's like served on a silver plate. But it's still, if we're happy now, I don't think any of the girls in this competition are, satisfied and happy with the situation. And so we actually formed a group with all the 12 America's Cup teams. Like, we have representatives from all the teams, and it's an unofficial group, but we share thoughts and ideas and how to push this like, it's like a train, and we've just got going, but we need to push it forward. And
now it's when the grit comes in again. Now you have to keep going.
But for example, this year was the first year in the Olympic history where we were like 50-50 equal in all sports.
Wow.
And for example, in Sweden, like, I know the Swedish public television, they also have very strict, it should be 50-50 when they show sports on TV. Like, it should be 50-50. Like, and if you get TV time, you most likely will be able to get more funding. And then, so it's all, this snowball is starting to spin, but we need to be there and make sure that it's, keep on going in the right direction.
Yeah. What advice would you give to young women to aspire to break into elite sailing or other traditionally male-dominated sports?
Yeah, I would say, it all needs to be something you enjoy. And that's key. Like you can't be pushed by someone else, not your mom or dad, or it needs to be your decision, because you're gonna have to put a lot of hours into it. But my advice is just to get inspiration and motivation by the ones that have done it before. Ask questions, don't be afraid to collaborate, and to you're not on your own, even though maybe you're in an individual sport. We're all in the same boat. We all, so that's also why we love wings, and we're gonna combine, like, it's not one sport, because the girls, it doesn't matter if they're skiers, sailors, tennis players, they like, if they can share and get new friends, I think that their journey will be more fun, and then
Yes.
most likely they will keep on going for longer. So if you're on your own, then it's easier to maybe, if it gets tough, you might choose an easy way out. But if you have this group around you, and you feel like you're part of something bigger, then you might, have the courage to carry on, even though it's tough times.
Of course.
Yeah.
And you have been doing this for 20 years. How do you envision the next 20? I mean, you've had a transformational journey the first 20. How do you envision your next 20 to unfold? And what is your dream scenario?
Good question. I'm lucky to be in a sport where you actually you can be around for quite a long time, where you're not finished by a certain date, because you need your body in a way to perform. So hopefully I will continue sailing for at least 5-10 years. But I also, I have a daughter, she's 10, and she's into gymnastics, and I want to support her as well. And I really hope that we can grow wings into something big. That would mean, for me to be able to take my skills from the sport and hand it out to, so many more. That would mean a lot. And
what a legacy.
But I don't think so much about the future in this way. I need to. I love when things are changing, and I love, when you grab opportunities you didn't know that was going to happen to you. And so I'm not that planned. So I think I will, my next 20 years, I will continue working on my own skill sets. I'm gonna put time and effort into, feeling well, and have a nice life. And then I'm very, I think that good things will happen. So
positive affirmations.
One day in a time, but also a dream about creating this wings project. Yeah.
Well, it has already happened. You have already succeeded. That's how I see it. That's the way to manifest. And I mean, put yourself in that frequency, and you will look back when you're 60 thinking, wow, and see all these amazing women going through what you did before, but in a new way. And we were talking a little bit last time. We spent some time together about navigating the unknown, and you were telling me that you see the unknown as opportunity.
Yeah. For me, it's more life. Like for me, life is quite unknown. I had no clue 3 years ago that I would be sitting here in Barcelona now, and the times where you strict into one project and you don't have the possibility to open your eyes, you lose opportunities. So I think being a little bit in the unknown all the time, I'm not afraid of it. I have respect, and I can understand that people feel like it's scary, but I've done it so many times, so I rely on my capability to actually do good in the unknown. And we come back to where we started, like fail, try again, practice, and then succeed. Like,
and
it has
trust.
happened so many times for me, so I'm quite confident it will continue like that.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, thank you so much, Anna, for being here and sharing all this. How can we follow you in America's Cup now to follow the race online? Shall we can leave a link to the viewers.
Yes, of
maybe.
course. Yeah, on America's Cup YouTube channel, it will be live, and we start racing 5th of October, and the final is on the 13th. It will be an intense 10 days coming up here now. But then also, if you want to follow the Wings project, we can
will
link
share that as well.
too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
We will
Jessica.
follow you with great excitement and be there to celebrate with you, whatever the outcome, because this is a great victory in so many ways.
Thank you. Sounds really good.
Yeah, thank you for being here. All the
Bye
best.
bye.
Bye bye.